Mini episode 1883 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You'll want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Hello and welcome to FDH Lounge mini episode 1883, the weekly FDH football preview show. I'm FDH Managing Partner Rick Morris here with our fantasy and non-fantasy preview for Week 11 of the 2025 NFL season, as well as a look at Week 12 of the college football season. This podcast is excerpted from this week's edition of the 2025 FDH College and Pro Tip Sheet, available on the main page at fantasycrafthelp.com. Extra features that you will find there include our first four teams on the outside looking in for the college football playoff, our full NFL power rankings, our NFL rankings by division and by conference, and our list of fantasy players never to bench if they are healthy and not on a bye. This week's buys are Indianapolis and New Orleans. We start with our picks right now for the college football playoff. Here they are: 1 Ohio State, 2 Indiana, 3 Texas A&M, 4 Alabama, 5 Georgia, 6 Texas Tech, 7 Mississippi, 8 Oregon, 9 Notre Dame, 10 BYU, 11 Georgia Tech, 12 James Madison. For last week's picks, we are 4-1 and we're 27-31-2 on the year. Here's what we've got this week: Alabama -6 over Oklahoma, Iowa +6.5 over USC, Ohio State -31.5 over UCLA, Georgia -6 over Texas, and BYU -4.5 over TCU. In the NFL, we're going for our fourth season since 2016 of being profitable, i.e. above 52.4%, picking every game of the season. We came within a few picks of that last year. Last week, we are 7-7 overall, 3-0 on the Big Three, and 1-0 on the lock. It's 70, 78-1, 15-15, and 5-5 on the season. Here's our picks for this week: New York Jets +13 over New England, Washington +2.5 over Miami, LA Chargers -3.5 over Jacksonville, Buffalo -5.5 over Tampa Bay, Chicago -3 over Minnesota, Tennessee +7 over Houston, Carolina +3.5 over Atlanta, Cincinnati +5.5 over Pittsburgh, Seattle +2.5 over the LA Rams, Kansas City -4 over Denver, and Detroit +2.5 over Philadelphia. For our Big Three, it's San Francisco -2.5 over Arizona, and Green Bay -7.5 over the New York Giants. And in the 1,000-star gold-plated lock of the millennium for NFL Week 11, it's Baltimore -8.5 over Cleveland. Now for our fantasy football segment. Remember, we strongly discourage fantasy overmanaging. You don't pull your top guys unless they're hurt or on a bye, period. Don't let the matchups or everything geeks tell you anything different. Remember, our Thursday night game picks and fantasy recommendations are up every week on our Twitter page at the FDH Lounge. Now here's our non-gimme picks for the week. Quarterback: Sam Darnold, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Drake May, Aaron Rodgers, and Caleb Williams. Running back: Devon Achane, Chase Brown, Zach Charbonnet, James Cook, Amari DiMarcado, Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, R.J. Harvey, Travion Henderson, Kareem Hunt, Quinshon Judkins, Woody Marks, David Montgomery, Devin Singletary, Sean Tucker, Kamani Vidal, Kenneth Walker III, Jalen Warren, Rashad White, Javonte Williams, and Kyron Williams. Wide receiver: Jordan Addison, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Zay Flowers, Troy Franklin, Marvin Harrison Jr., T. Higgins, Teteroa McMillan, DK Metcalf, George Pickens, Rashee Rice, Wan'Dale Robinson, Deebo Samuel, Rashid Shaheed, Devontae Smith, Courtland Sutton, Jalen Waddle, Christian Watson, and Jamison Williams. Tight end, Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Colston Loveland, Kate Otten, and Kyle Pitts. Thank you for joining us for this mini episode of the FDH Lounge.